Well, we now continue our weekly land report segment with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. Past National President Dennis Reyman joins us with the latest. Dennis, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. So how has the recent winter weather affected your area? Tell us what's going on there.
Good afternoon, Suzanne. Nice to be with you again. Well, good news to report. We actually had a pretty nice shot of moisture over the past weekend. A little snow, slush, and ice, but a lot of it was rain. We probably had 1.5 to 2 inches across most of the area, so we still do have a little snow cover, but we're happy to have it moisture in any form.
I was going to say, probably nice to have that precipitation for sure. You know, you and I have spoken, and you said typically about springtime, things get a little slower as far as land transactions. So what are you seeing for this spring?
Yeah, that's true, and we've talked about that several times, I believe. But this spring, so far through March, it's been fairly active. And last year was the highest volume that I've seen in the last 8 or 10 years. But this year was actually second only to last year. So pretty good activity. We don't see much coming up on the calendar for the upcoming couple of months, but certainly some good activity recently.
Dennis, what about values? Farmland holding their values right now? Are you seeing that tick down a little bit?
Well, it's interesting. The latest survey that came out was the Realtors Land Institute survey for Iowa, and that's a 6-month survey from September 1 to March 1, and they showed a little down across the board, and that's what we've talked about in the past. Their state average was down 3%. But actually, I just ran my numbers for the northwestern part of the state here that we cover, and I actually saw a tick higher of maybe 1 to 2%. So, and I looked, I looked at why did that happen. Volume was good, as I mentioned, so that wasn't the case of short volume. And I looked at quality. Well, it wasn't a case of a lot of high-quality stuff coming to the market. On average, it was, pretty much run-of-the-mill as far as quality goes. So I think it was an influx of cash. Land buyers are usually the well-heeled people in the neighborhood, and, they may have deferred income into January after first of the year. So that extra influx of cash can maybe put another bid or two on a parcel of land that comes up for auction. So I think that's probably the case.
Well, great stuff as always, Dennis. Thank you so much for breaking it down for us. Of course, the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. That is Dennis Reyman.